Hi, this is an unboxing for, as you can see, Space Marine Adventures. This is a game that I first became aware of about a year, 18 months ago, I think. And at that point in time, it was exclusive to Barnes & Noble and only available, I think, in the US, certainly not in the UK or Europe anyway. And it's just become available in the UK. Again, it's exclusive to one retailer in the UK, which is a company called Game, which for the uninitiated, it's actually a video games shop, so it's consoles and video games, which is obviously nothing wrong with that, but I don't really understand why you would make a board game exclusive to such a retailer, as I don't, as to my knowledge, sell any board games otherwise. Anyway, and what attracted me to this is that anyone who grew up in the UK in the 80s and 90s would be aware of Games Workshop, and I think for many of us it would have been the first, for want of a better term, proper board games that we would ever have played. So things like Hero Quest, Space Crusade, and Talisman were the first games that had themes, and they weren't things like Monopoly and Cluedo and those kind of things. So that's why I was sort of interested in this, and I think particularly for Space Crusade, because as you can see, it's ages 8 and up. So this is a introductory game to, I guess, the Warhammer universe, and it reminded me of Space Crusade. So it was something I was interested in playing. So we'll just quickly unbox it. So as you can see, it's called Labyrinth of the Necrons. I have to admit, my current knowledge of Warhammer universe is extremely poor, so you have to excuse any mistakes I make about that. In fact, I'm not entirely sure I know what a Necron is, so apologies. This is the back of the box, and we'll see this as we go in. As you can see, you do have to build the miniatures, and say that's not something I've done for a good long while, possibly if at all. Actually, I can't remember whether Space Crusade had buildable miniatures or not. So let's have a quick look inside. Rustle, here we go. Right, let's have a quick look at the side of the box. A bit of art there. It's probably the same, is it, on all sides? Yeah. Well, on this we have a. Actually, those are Necrons, aren't they? As far as I understand, you don't get those in the box. So you get figures for the Space Marines, but not for the Necrons. So I'm assuming that the Space Marines. I'm assuming you can buy those miniatures. So we have a little catalogue here, which obviously I guess this is the main thing for them. It's a marketing opportunity to get people into Warhammer, and that's potentially why they're putting it through retailers. They wouldn't normally have these types of games in, because it sort of pulls in a new market for them, which I guess makes sense. But let's say to make it exclusive, you could do that without making it exclusive, obviously. Then we have a rule book. As you can see here, it's very lots of pictures, fairly light on text. Well, that's got quite a lot of text actually. But I've seen some videos of this being played, and it's a very, very simplified, in effect, dungeon crawl, but it also feels a bit like a puzzle game. What's quite good though is it does have a campaign setting, so you can play individual levels, but you can also play it as a campaign, and that was what I found interesting, to be honest. If it was just individual one-shots, which I don't think, it's a sophisticated campaign, but nevertheless. And then we have that, First Strike. I have to admit, I do not know what that is. So that looks quite interesting. Don't know if you can play that solo. And I think the other thing as well is that I wanted to play this solo, so that was another attraction of this game. So here we have, so as I said, the Necrons are actually counters in this game. They're not miniatures. And these are the boards, which again reminds me very much of Space Crusades, and to a certain extent Space Hulk. That's on tiles, I think. And you get different layouts. Again, I don't think these are necessarily about the campaign. I don't think they tell you to go on particular ones. I think these just give variety. So there's 6 different configurations on 3 boards. Then we have some miniatures. The bases are actually textured, which is quite nice. Don't know if that's normal for these types of miniatures. Apparently these are easy to... Actually, I won't try and get them off because I'm going to break them off. I'll try and do it quickly. Apparently they're allegedly easy to get off. You don't need a craft knife to get them out. But I guess we'll be the judge of that when we get the game in our hands. You can see that the Space Marines are colour-coded because they are different classes and characters. You get 5, but I understand you play 4 at a time. So again, just gives a bit of variety. What's the... I'm just trying to work out what those little arrows are telling me. I'm pretty much none the wiser, but I'm sure it makes sense. Okay, and what else do we have here? We've got the bag. This will be for the tokens. It's just plain by the looks of it. Yeah, just a plain bag. Wouldn't have killed them to put a logo on the front of that, would it? But anyway. And then we have a die per colour coded again. Those of you who've got very good ears may hear my dog running over there because he thinks I've actually this might be treats. He's going to be sorely disappointed. So yeah, we have a dice per or die per, again colour coded. So that's obviously the grey one for each of our Space Marines. Some baggies, which is good. Yeah, that's cool. And then open now, which we will. Set of cards. I want to show you these because I did see that some of the art on these is really good. This is what the pack I'm thinking of. So these ones are equipment cards, I think. Yes, or skill cards. So they have some quite nice art on them. They're, as you can probably see, I don't have entirely, very small hands. These aren't poker size. They're slightly bigger than poker size as well, which is good. So you can get quite a lot of art and text. And as you can see, there's some flavour text as well to sort of get you into the idea of the the universe. And this adds some variety because again, from watching playthroughs, you can have a few of these cards at a time. Again, don't quote me on this because I haven't played it yet, but possibly 2. One item and 1 skill. These are just these are Necron cards. So again, with some nice art. Oh, and this is just the individual card for it. Yeah, so this is the wounded side actually. There's the. So again, giving you painting guidance if you're able to paint and want to paint, and the special gear that they have, their range and their stats. The ones in between, sorry, I'd say are Necrons. Actually, let's flip them over. These cards here, the turn system is card driven. So this shows you that when you draw this card, it's this character's turn, and so on. There are that character's turn. That's the Necron's turn, and these are the stats for the Necron baddies, if you want to call them that. So that's a technical term that Games Workshop use all the time. Okay, and then from memory, there are it's got do not open, so I know people don't like spoilers, so we won't do that. But basically, there are 3 levels that you play as one shots, and these are the activation cards for the Necrons on that level and what they do when they spawn, and those types of things as you play through. And there's also an advanced. So within here, there's some more advanced. Actually, I will open this. I won't show you spoilers necessarily. Those of you who are sensitive to spoilers might want to carry on watching. Because what some people consider spoilers, others don't. So this is just some text which you won't be able to read anyway. So this is the campaign. So this is the story. By the looks of it. No, well, actually, no, it's not the story. It's telling you what you need to do for each campaign level, what your objectives are. This is interesting. Not sure what this is, but this is flavour. So this is like flavour text, and presumably these are things again. These are like objectives that you'd have to do within this campaign. I don't know what a phylactery is. Void scythe. These look like special items that the Necrons can have by the looks of it, because it's got pictures of Necrons on it, and they sound like weapons and shields and those kinds of things. So at the heart of it, it's very, very simple, and you can just play it quickly, as my understanding. But also there is a campaign system too, which again is not going to be like massively in depth, but just gives the game a bit more life. So I hope that gives you an idea of what's in the box, and there are quite a few videos online from the American release in terms of how you play. I don't know if the UK release is different in any way. I doubt it, but I don't know. There may be some differences. So this unboxing may be helpful to those of you in the UK who want to buy it, so you know exactly what you'll get if you buy it from Gamers, the retailer. Anyway, I hope that was useful, and yeah, hope that you'll like and subscribe. Thanks.